Hello friends, welcome back, and this week we're going to be working on some more Sweet Earth stuff and Sweet Earth. And this week we're going to do a little bit of recycling, and we're going to pull in a little bit of the environment as well. So if you can see, I've got two flowers here, and they're connected by sticks, and this one's still a little wet, so I'll show you how to get those glued down. All right, let's get started. Okay, so you're gonna need your tubes, and they can be paper towel tubes, they can be from toilet paper tubes, whatever you have. So what I did was I kind of flattened them a little bit so they don't have to be perfectly round. They're gonna flatten down a little bit. That way we can cut them a little bit easier. So we want to try to cut shapes that are about the same size. So the more I kind of flatten this out, I don't want to flatten it completely, maybe the better. So I'm going to try and make the same size, and maybe what I can do is just do a little clip. So I clip up, and then I try and I see how much of a space I need to cut on the next one. And I'm not going to cut them all the way off until I measure them all. Okay, and I want to get about 6 or 7 out of one little roll. All right, so now I can cut them all the way off. So I slip my scissor back in, and I'm just going to keep it as straight as possible and snip them off. Now, Mom and Dad can also help you with this, as can a brother or a sister. Okay, we just cut those right off. Stick them right back in where we started to cut. Snip them right off. The main part of this is just keeping it straight. And if you have to squish it down a little bit more, that's okay too. Just gonna cut them off. Okay, so then I have these great shapes, and I can open them back up just a little bit to make a flower petal. So I'm gonna get about 5 or 6 of them together. I used 6 on my last one. Let's try 5 and see what that looks like. So they're going to go together something like this. Okay, so you can play around with your shape first before you start. If some of them are kind of a little out of whack, you can bend them back. Okay, so that is what our flower is going to kind of look like. If you feel like you need a 6th one, just pop one more in there. Okay, so we are going to do that with a glue stick. So you're going to need a glue stick and a glue bottle. Okay, I have some clear glue here. White glue works just as well. So what I want to do is try to stick these guys together. So I'm going to just start with one piece. I'm going to scribble my glue on the end on both sides. Just really get it gluey, because I do want to attach the other pieces. Okay, so I'm going to stick one on this side, try to line them up, and I'm going to stick one on this side, and I'm sticking my fingers in between there, and I'm holding them in place, and you can count to about 30 or whatever number you feel like you need to count to so that they're glued together. And it doesn't take a whole lot, but I am pushing, giving it some pressure. Okay. So it looks like they're pretty good. 3 more to go. Take my next piece, do the same thing. I'm going to scribble some glue on both sides and attach it to the one that I already have, and it's pretty sticky so far. Attach it to that one that I have, put one right next to it, and pinch those together. So I'm just pinching, oops, I don't want to pinch it out of place though. I'm going to pinch and hold. So in the center, we're going to have just like a little bit of space. And if you don't have much, that's okay. Okay, when you feel like they're good, you can let go, and hopefully your finger comes away as well. All right, so we'll get our last piece, and again, both sides, just down at the end. Okay. And I'm going to stick it right there in the last spot, pinch my last 2 together, This is a good thing to do together with somebody because it can be a little bit hard for some of us. But I think you can do it together with somebody and it'll be wonderful. What a great project to do together. All right, so now I've got them all together. I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to figure out which side lays the flattest. So it looks like this is pretty good. They're almost all touching. Let's try this side. The other side looks a little better. If you can see, it kind of sticks up a little bit. So that's the side that I'm going to glue down. Okay, so being that that's the side that's going to go down onto the paper, I'm going to need to get my glue onto the other side. Okay, so I flip it over. Here's another messy part. We're going to open that glue. Make sure you feel the air. And we're just going to start to trace around our flower. Now it'll dribble down and maybe even on your paper. Just go slow. And it's okay if it drips and drizzles. It's not going to hurt it. So I get one done. And I can come along and keep going and tracing along the other ones as well. Now don't worry if you don't get enough glue or the glue doesn't go on each piece. You're still going to get most of it glued down and it'll be okay. So again, a mom or dad or grandma, grandpa, brother, sister, anybody can help you with this. It's much easier with two people. Okay, so when I have that, you can see there's some little droplets on my paper. I'm going to flip it over as carefully as I can. And if it comes apart, that's okay. Stick it right back together, especially when you put it on your paper. So if the glue gets all over, it's okay, because we're going to be coloring over that. We probably won't even see it. So I'm covering it up quite a bit. So let me move my hand here. It is close to my edge. It doesn't have to be, but mine just happened to be there. I can wipe away some extra glue if I want. And I'm going to put my hands over it. I'm just going to press it on the paper. Okay, now I have a lot of space for another one, so if I wanted to do another one, I could do it in that space. And then I'm going to go out and look for some sticks that I think would match up with my flowers. Now, when you go out, I want you to look for not just one or two, but why don't you try for a little bit of a handful, maybe 8 or 10. Okay, now let's say I like that and I just want one. Maybe I can turn it to the direction I want it and go outside and find my sticks. Now let's see what we've got here. Try and just pull that wet one out and maybe even just use that. Now that looks pretty nice. The only thing is I need to get it glued into place. So it's the same thing. You're going to get that glue and just put it on the parts that are going to rest on your paper. Now, do not do this step until you have all of the flowers on your paper that you want. Okay, so I would not want to put my stick on if I wanted a second flower. I'd go and I'd get the second flower put on, and then I could figure out where my sticks are going to go. Okay? So we're going to get that and hold that in place. And that should be good. And set it aside to rest. You can join me for part 2 where we talk about how we're going to get these colored and make them really, really beautiful. All right, hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.